Hey y'all, today's video is the first in my Thanksgiving prep series of videos. There are going to be a total of 3 long form videos and 1 short form video, but today we are actually cleaning out my car. So Thanksgiving is in a little over a week now, and there are a lot of people who drive to family members' houses or friends' houses to partake in a Thanksgiving meal during the holiday. And my car is disgusting, so it's a great time to go ahead, knowing that we are going to be spending a few hours in the car, to go ahead and get this cleaned out. And hopefully this is a good reminder for you to maybe go and take a look at your car. Now, in full disclosure, we are actually not driving my car to a family member's for Thanksgiving. We're going to drive my husband's car. And I'm not cleaning his car in this video because, one, I do these cleans on my lunch break on days that I work from home. So my husband is actually at work, so of course he needs his car to get there. So the car's not available for me to clean. Two, this car is disgusting, as you can see. I have 2 toddlers, and a lot of times they will just throw toys and food if they're upset at being in the car for too long, or who knows what has happened, okay? I also have a dog, so there's quite a bit of dog hair. There is sand in here from our last visit to the beach, and we do have the clay, so there's some clay on the mats as well, and just tons of toys and things that trashed that just needs to be cleaned out. But I'm off topic now. I told you I wasn't cleaning my husband's car because, 1, it's not available to me at this time to clean. 2, he actually does a decent job at keeping his car clean. He cares a little bit more about it than I do. And 3, he is a fully grown adult who has Thanksgiving week off from work. It's just paid holiday at his job. So he has plenty of time to go and tidy up his car as necessary. So here we are getting on with the cleaning. So I guess all that's to say, even if you don't go anywhere for Thanksgiving, if your car looks like this, maybe it's time to just take a half hour or an hour to just give it a little bit of love. I'm cleaning the windshield here first because I have been having issues. It's been getting colder overnight here, so I need to defrost in the morning. And of course, anything that's on the inside of your window, when you're using the defroster, you just absolutely cannot see. So I was very happy to get that wiped off. Get all of this dusted off. In the overview, you saw me kind of put my finger through the dust to make sure that you guys could see, hey, this is ridiculously dusty here. And I'm just using this duster so it doesn't fly everywhere. I'm not sure how much you'll be able to hear in the background, but my dog is chilling outside with me while I clean this, enjoying the nice weather. It was actually quite warm this day. I think it was almost 70. Which is above average for us this time of year. But I'm just getting everything wiped down. So that gray rag you may notice from my other videos, I have quite a few of them. They're just cheap washcloths from Target that I use for cleaning. But all I'm using in the car is a window cleaner for the inside of the glass, and this rag, it's just damp with water. I don't have any sort of cleaner on it. My purpose in this video is not to get this car pristine, it's just to get it back in a more livable shape where it's not covered in dust and it doesn't have food scraps in it and just wrappers and whatnot. I'm also doing that because I'm really, really sensitive to smells, and the stuff that they use to clean cars traditionally, I have to ride with the windows rolled down for ages afterwards until it fades. It's just very chemical-y, and some people have like the car fresheners, and I can't do those. This is me just chucking stuff into my driveway to get it out of the way. This video is a little chaotic. I have no rhyme or reason for the order that I'm cleaning things in. I just kind of get distracted by little spaces, and I'm sure I clean certain spaces multiple times. So this is me trying to lift out a little insert, and it has a pull tab on it. That's what I'm pulling on, but I absolutely could not get it out. And I was like, okay, so that's not coming out. Screw that. All right, now we're on the other side of the car, hitting the inside of this window. I don't clean the outside of my car at all. The outside pretty much gets washed when it goes to the mechanic for maintenance. My mechanic is actually my brother-in-law, which is why I was stumbling over that. It's weird to call him my mechanic instead of my brother-in-law. But my brother-in-law is the mechanic who helps me maintain this car, and he usually runs it through the outside through the wash. We also don't live in an area where you need to really wash the outside of your car a lot. It rains fairly frequently. Right now, it is my husband's turn to park in the garage. We usually switch off every few months. We only have a one-car garage. So I've been parking in the driveway, and the rain does a good enough job. We don't live so close to the beach or the ocean where the salt is an issue. We actually live hours away from the beach. I don't know why I was saying close, but before I mentioned there was sand. It was actually in this side of the floorboard. We live a couple hours away from the ocean, so it's not like we're needing to wash the outside of the car to get the salt off of it from the ocean, or it's not like when I lived in the Midwest and you really did need to wash the outside of your car fairly often in the winter just to get all of the salt from the roads off so it wouldn't corrode the bottom of your car. Apologies for the angle on this shot right here. I decided to leave it in just so that you could see that I did vacuum the carpet on this side, but not the most flattering view on Earth, so sorry about that, guys. And here I'm getting that center console. I almost sucked up the tissues in this box. I'm using a shop vac, and they're pretty aggressive if they get anything big in there. So luckily the sound of the vacuum changes pretty significantly when you're actually have latched onto something that maybe you don't want it to actually vacuum up. And like I said here, it's just a damp cloth, it's just water. So these are not pristine. I'm just looking for an improvement. I will say these all-weather mats are fantastic. I bought this car used. It's the typical mom car. It's a 2020 Honda CR-V. I feel like it's stereotypical soccer mom car. But it's a really nice car. I got it used, but it only had like 10,000 miles on it. And I got it in 2022, which was a horrible time to buy a car, but that's when I was pregnant with my son, and we were going to have to put a second rear-facing car seat into the back. And I had a Toyota Yaris at the time. And I'm not tall by human standards. I'm like actually average. I'm 5'8". But I like to drive pretty far back from the steering wheel, as you can kind of see there. And I would have been eating my steering wheel in that Yaris to be able to fit a rear-facing seat behind the driver's side, and I just wouldn't feel safe doing that. So I decided it was time to go ahead and bite the bullet and get a soccer mom car, even though the interest rates were crap then. All right, so the near side here that you saw me just clean, this is the side that my son sits on. And he is definitely just throws stuff to his right so it hits that door and then just falls down onto the floor or under the seat or wherever. But that's what he likes to do when he's done with something. And also why this side is probably the messiest part of the car. This is me struggling to get one of these all-weather mats up. It's actually one piece that goes entirely across the car, which is fantastic because it keeps the carpet so much cleaner than if it were just on the two sides of the car and didn't join in the middle. but it has all the little spiky things to kind of dig into the carpet and stay in place, so it was a pain to get out. Me showing you all of the toys and stuff that are in between these car seats because I didn't want to have to keep moving the camera around. And sucking up all of the food crumbs, and who knows what is behind the car seat there. I originally thought I was going to take these car seats out, and then I just couldn't be bothered. There are some portions where I go to the other side of the car, and I actually thought this angle was better for that than it is. So I ended up cutting out a lot of that. So if it looks like I'm really cleaning this side and then you don't see me cleaning the other side as much, I did clean the other side. It's just the footage was not good enough to include in this. So y'all will just have to believe me when I say that I cleaned it. Make sure that you guys watch all the way to the end. I did include some pretty awesome before and after pictures. They were really satisfying. Was a little concerned about some of the camera angles on this since it's a car. It's a little bit harder to take video of small spaces. And you'll notice that the camera's moving a little bit. I accidentally keep hitting it with the vacuum hose here, and it's actually, I have the tripod balanced on a hill that is right next to my driveway. So I was trying really hard not to tip it over, but to still let you guys see what I was doing. So this is me. You can see my disembodied hand there, kind of just vacuuming the floor on the other side. And at this point, you can't see it at all, and I don't think I ever show you it. But there's a huge pile of trash in the middle of my driveway. Trash and toys and just stuff that I normally keep in my car, like my sunshade that goes in the windshield. It's just all over there. All right, and now me wrestling this floor mat back in. Takes me a little bit of time to figure this out, but luckily it's sped up so you guys don't have to suffer through it for too long. Surprisingly, there actually weren't that many spills on these mats. Maybe I've gotten to the point of motherhood where I've learned not to give super duper messy things, like crumbly things, sure, but I'm not going to give my kids a yogurt or anything in the back of the car anymore. My daughter actually got pretty good at using the, like, apple veggie pouches. But my son still can't be trusted with those. Another super flattering view here, so apologies, guys. And I promise I am going into my house and rinsing this rag and wringing it out so that I'm not just wiping floor dirt all over my seats. The seats are leather. That's also another reason why I'm just using a damp cloth, because I don't really have any leather cleaner and I didn't want to mess them up. Leather seats are so amazing if you have young kids. So now we're back into the driver's seat because I haven't vacuumed this side yet. That was some advice that I took from my brother-in-law when I was buying this car, because he was there helping me. And it was worth the little bit of extra money I paid for it. This was a used car, so it's kind of hard to tell, but that's the only reason I could afford the leather package on a car. And since this is the driver's side, I think all cars now are required that that driver's side mat is actually attached to the floor some way. So you'll see me unlocking it. I think they had some accidents where the floor mat was sneaking up behind either the gas or the brake pedal and causing issues where people were crashing, so. Glad they figured that out. And honestly, at this point, I was pretty overdoing this. So I don't actually clean this floor mat that well. It's the floor mat that has the clay on it. And I give a wipe down, but I'm not really invested in getting it super duper clean. And just like you can see, that footrest still has some clay in it. We live in central North Carolina, so we have clay, we've got sand, we have all the things. It's part of why we like living here. Close to the beach, close to the mountains, still kind of have 4 seasons. Our winter is not really winter anymore. I was just talking with another YouTuber named Alyssa about that in the comments of a different video. That we don't really get snow here anymore like we did when I first moved here about 14 years ago. We mostly get ice now. But it's starting to get cooler, and it's starting to feel like fall a little bit. Gotta make sure to get these windows because they have fingerprints all over them. And this window. This is the side that my daughter sits on. So it was actually quite a bit cleaner than I thought it would be. There is this one piece of who knows what on here. I don't know if it's like a little chocolate fingerprint or some like root beer lollipop or what. But it was really sticky and hard to get off. And I did wipe down the other seats, but I showed myself wiping down this one because my daughter is front facing now, so she likes to put her feet up on the back of the seat. I don't mind too much if she's kicked her shoes off, but. And we're to the back, so we are almost done. I do have the all-weather mat in the back there, and I did have my brother-in-law order and install these backs that are attached to the rear of the back seat because that was also carpeted, and our dog Max, his hair just gets absolutely entwined in everything. So you can't really see it that well in this video, but there is a line of hair around where it has weaseled its way under that all-weather mat. You can see it's a little bit lighter. Our dog's kind of a copper color. But thanks for watching this far if you've made it this far into the video. We are almost to the satisfying overview of the clean car, and then after that, the before and after pictures. Like I said before, this is the first that is going to be in a series of Thanksgiving prep videos. I have a couple videos of some recipes, and I have a short planned about cleaning inside the home before your guests come over. So I'm excited to get those out to you guys over the next week or so here. Doing this voiceover on a Wednesday, so we have a week and a day until Thanksgiving. But I hope y'all will like this video and subscribe so that you don't miss those other videos that I have coming up this week. And then we'll get back to kind of our regularly scheduled kind of topics. But I just wanted to do something a little bit festive for Thanksgiving. I feel like Thanksgiving gets overlooked a little bit. And I was surprised actually by how well the shop vac got up his hair, because normally his hair does not come out of carpets. And I think this is the last wipe down. At this point, I was really checking my watch, thinking, oh gosh, my lunch is almost over. This is taking way longer than I thought. Hey, here we go. The final result. Get you guys off the tripod to come with me. Here's that backing that I was talking about. Like I said, not pristine, but so much better than before. Actually did this clean yesterday and got in the car this morning. And I don't know if I just forget that I've done stuff, or, so you can see that mat. That mat's the one thing I'm not terribly pleased with. But I don't know if I forget that I've cleaned something, but if it's not in my normal cleaning rotation, then like I'm really surprised the next time I see it. The same thing happened when I did my laundry room clean and I really deep cleaned my washing machine. And ever since then, now whenever I open the lid to that washing machine, I'm just astonished that it's still nice and clean in there. And I'm so excited for it. It's like a weirdly adult thing to be excited about. No more trash in this door. This is probably the biggest transformation space here, is the side where my son lives. Not where he lives, where he rides. Promise my son doesn't live in the car. And then over here in my daughter's spot. I don't think it saw it in the video before. There was so much stuff behind her car seat, just tucked behind her car seat. And I will need to get these car seats out and clean them. I do that fairly regularly, but today was not the day for that. All right, and now the before and after pictures. I'm so excited. I find before and after pictures really satisfying. I'm going to try to make sure I always do these. So like I said, that mat, that clay on that mat was the only piece that I wasn't very happy with. See my little finger streak in the dirt, or the dust there. And now it's so shiny and reflective. This is probably the dirtiest space up front, but it cleaned up pretty well. And the dirtiest space in the entire car. So satisfying, so much better. I will say the back of the car is way worse just because I see the back of the car less, and I'm definitely someone who needs something to be visually clean, and I can ignore the back of the car way easier than I can the front of the car. But also I like to think that I'm a little bit tidier than my toddlers. All right, thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Please like and subscribe and look out for those next videos. Have a wonderful day. Bye.